What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com. The Hype, episode 393, Series 2 baseball is here. Is it too high for some of the regular Joes out there? We'll discuss that and more today on the show. We're also got our Hits of the Week, a new segment that we're going to talk about some of the biggest polls on Mojobreak.com. We got Bye-Bye Cleveland. We've got Frank Gore with some interesting, Frank Gore Jr. with some questionable autos. We've got Fanatics Fest also around the corner. We're going to be talking about some of the things at Fanatics Fest this year, which is, I believe, next week, right? We're next week for Fanatics Fest. You got to check out. We have a legendary baseball break. 50 boxes on Fanatics Live. Pick your player, myself and Bubba. It's a case of 2024 Diamond Icons. It's a case of 2024 Definitive. Case of 2024 Tier 1. Case of 2024 Topps Chrome Black. Case of 2024 Triple Threads. Case 2025 Sterling.
You gotta get a little more of your factory set.
I know, right? Gotta get my little.
I think you're also doing it on the main stage at the Fanatics Live stage, right?
Nice.
No, I don't think so.
No?
Not good enough, I guess.
Did you get?
But we'll be there. There's only 8 stages there. We're in one of them. But you can buy in from the comfort of your own home. We're doing it player style. There's also 2024 Bowman in there. Luminaries, Gilded, 5-star, and Museum to round it out. It's actually 52 boxes, but we're calling it a 50 box. And you could just buy Jung Ho Lee. You could buy Babe Ruth. You could buy Paul Skeens. You could buy Shohei Ohtani. I think there's already 20 or 30 spots already gone in the break, but find your player. We're also giving away a free case to somebody in the break as well. So you could buy one of the cheapest spots and get a chance at a free case. And there'll be surprises, possible guests, and more. It's going to be happening Saturday at Fanatics Fest next Saturday. Not this Saturday, next Saturday. So that's going to be fun. But get your players right now, guys, and load up for one of those all-timer breaks. So, but yeah, some interesting stuff. I just got back from camping. It's the first time I ever had an RV.
Ooh, RV camping.
Yeah, I think I might go back to the tents, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, with some plumbing issues and learning how to level the dang thing. And, yeah, it's a lot going on. I could have just popped up a tent.
Why can't you just – I thought you just park and
No, you got to
sleep.
Then it moves around like a boat, apparently, so you have to, you have to get the luckily, this one had a self-leveling component, but, learning out how to do that, that was
I'll tell you,
fun.
setting up a tent isn't that easy either.
No, now they are. They just pop up, dude. You buy
There
the
are some
pop-up
nice ones.
Yeah.
You get a nice one that pops up. Yeah,
You hit a button?
You could basically just kind of, I don't know if there's any buttons involved, but
There should be a button.
kind of just throw it on the ground and it does work for
And
itself.
then my oldest daughter, I mean, she's camped in a tent before, but like she's on the top, bed bunk thing, and there's like 5 sleeping arrangements in this thing. And it's like 11:30, and she's freaking out that there's like a mosquito eater that's touched her, and now she can't find it. She doesn't want to sleep by there anymore. So we switch around arrangements to get her on a down below, which is already that's already too bad. We're camping. You're in a dang RV, right? And then she doesn't want to use the blanket because she used the blanket to kill the thing, so she has to get a different blanket. Now I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Can't get that bug juice.
Like,
Mosquito killer.
what I should have done is just put her outside then at that point with no tent, nothing. Just said like, hey, you had the one way, and now you're just gonna have to live with all
Now
that.
you got those beautiful starry skies.
Yeah.
Or
Lighten
bears.
your way.
Are there
Bears.
bears out there?
No. This is the Delta in Stockton, California, which
Yeah,
is a
no,
fine
no.
city.
Yeah.
It's a fine
The
city.
Delta's in Stockton?
Mm-hmm. It stretches from Tracy to Stockton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
I thought it was in Sacramento.
It might touch Sacramento.
Is there a
I
part
was
of it
gonna
in
say,
Sacramento?
It's probably all, you got to look at a map here. But
Wow.
Yeah, it's probably all there.
I would have not got that trivia question right.
Now, are you driving this RV up there? Or
I
are you-
did,
Okay,
yeah.
see, that's to me, that has always been the biggest block for me. Is like, I don't know. I would feel nervous behind the wheel of a big
Oh, I
RV.
was, and I sat in traffic. I left at 1.
Almost would feel better in traffic. Like, fine, great, let's not move. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to,
Well, I didn't get that thing above 60. I was not getting that thing above
Right.
60, and it wasn't that big. It was about 24-footer. I mean, it's decent size.
Yeah.
But, then, so the people we were, it was like 50 of us there. There was other people that their RV got canceled. They found a company to actually bring one, drop it off, and then come back on Sunday and pick it up. I'm like, that's what I'm doing next year, dude.
That's a nice deal.
That's that's the way to
They
do
didn't
it.
have to drive it.
So they
Exactly.
They just drove their own car.
It was
got
probably
in
about
the RV?
$200 more. But
Yeah,
for that,
it's nice though. It's convenient.
It's convenient, and it was nice. It was state of the art. This thing had a deck. I mean, it had a deck out of the back.
Man.
It had a TV that pops out the front and stuff. LED lights and
It's cool.
yeah,
Should have had somebody go out there and build you a cabin.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Or
where
you should
we're
do
at.
the glamping now, where they have the pre-made tents with like a nice little deck, and you got a fan in there, and or a yurt.
But we made sure that
big
nobody,
dorm and a yurt.
no number twos were allowed in the camper
Makes sense.
as well. So
Makes sense.
that's you have to go to the bathrooms that were actually only about 30 feet away. So just go to the bathroom and
all there for
no
you.
number twos in the thing. Anyways, but get into this week in the hobby. We have Cleveland is. Let's tell me about Cleveland here. I guess we may not be going back to Cleveland
It's starting to sound like
for the national.
If you have been kind of reading the tea leaves about the national location news, the fact that this year, next year, the year after, all Chicago, if I'm not mistaken, right? All 3 years going to be in Chicago.
We do love Chicago, but I actually
people love
shouldn't.
Chicago.
I shouldn't have much of an opinion because the fine people on TikTok don't like my opinions very much.
Well, that's why I made sure that we're talking about the National
Can we just say-
Sports Card Collector Convention.
There you
Because
go.
there was a guy that's like, you guys are talking, I don't even know what you're talking about. So,
Well, a lot of other people did in the
Yeah,
comments. so shout out to them.
apparently I had a strong opinion about Atlanta, and that was the wrong opinion.
Well, you know what it was, and yeah, because we did have our mildly viral on our.
I've been
opinion
to
of
look. I've been to Atlanta. I'm
Atlanta versus Detroit.
I'm comfortable with Atlanta.
Yeah.
Never been to Detroit. But you did tell me that there were casinos there, and I was
Right.
like, I'm in.
A lot of people from Detroit got in the comments, went, "Come on down. We love Detroit's good. You should come here.
Rock City.
It's great."
I'm open
I
to
do like
it.
Detroit style pizza. I've been converted. I'm a fan.
I just
The
like
Detroit
pizza.
stuff. Yeah, I mean pizza's good.
I mean, but yeah, I'll get down with some
little
Detroit
That's good.
squares, right?
Squares, but it's like the
Kinda-
cheese kind of rises on the pan, so it gets a
Kinda-
little burnt right
Kind
there.
of thick,
It's good. Yeah. It's yummy.
kind of French bread.
Yes.
A little bit.
little bit,
I know.
a little bit.
I'm just talking
No,
about
boy.
the
Now you got all
depth.
Detroit
Yeah,
coming
now
after you again.
it's over. I'm leaving. I'm out.
But and so of course, and we were also saying a few episodes ago, hey, it's going to be either Detroit or Atlanta in 2028, and then after that, who knows? But we know for a fact it's starting to sound like Cleveland is not going to be happening, at least for now. The IX Center, which is hosted the event for many times in Cleveland, is being converted into a data center by a still unknown Fortune 500 company. That's all we really know.
Well,
That
we know
it's
the internet
no
was
longer
pretty bad at that place. So
Right.
they're going to need a little bit of rewiring.
So maybe they heard the complaints and it's like a game of telephone.
And the AC. I have to get some
that's true.
AC in there as well. But yeah, you're right. The spotty Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So
well,
maybe
I really
yeah,
want to
who
know,
knows?
Dan, are you going to miss Cleveland for the
No,
national?
I was gonna ask you the same thing. No. I mean, but again,
Sorry.
You don't miss
Cleveland.
the shower, the non-shower shower and the water bottle shower.
I've had just not amazing experiences with lodging in Cleveland. Everything else has been fine. Restaurants have been fine. They also have a casino. It's good times. It's kind of the hangout. I don't love how the IX Center was so far away from downtown Cleveland. Wasn't super convenient.
Yeah.
And there really was not much in the way of lodging around the IX Center. Not hating.
Not confused.
Just saying.
Yeah.
It wasn't super convenient.
I think definitely 10 years ago to now, where you're like, well, the regular places in rotation, Cleveland, Atlantic City, Chicago. Now, 2/3 of that probably out of the picture. I know maybe people are like, well, this isn't really that big of a story. I think it speaks to where the industry and the hobby is, where it's like, well, now it's the potential regular rotation of show spots. New York is now in that rotation if you want to throw in Fanatics Fest. Chicago, and now potentially Atlanta has been part of it with some
Well,
big
we
shows.
had
and
some
top
Vegas
50
in the mix, and now
Vegas was in the mix.
Look,
That's right.
could we just have
We need
can we have
Vegas
the
needs to-
National be in Rosemont for the next 20 years, please?
I mean, it's a great spot.
It's fine.
It's a great
The
spot.
airport is literally across the
Airport's
street.
right there. You got a ton of restaurants.
You get a ton of restaurants, a ton of
Yeah.
hotels.
And if you want to go to the city, you're not that far. It's like you can
It's
still go to the city.
super far.
It's super far if you want to think of it that way. I went a couple times.
It's
to the
super
city
far.
and
It's like
it's
40.
fine.
It's 45 minutes away. Everything that you want is in the quad. It's like it might as well be 17 hours away.
It's like 20 minutes. Well, I mean, look, there's
But you-
traffic. Don't get me wrong.
But you have everything you need across the street
That is
from
true.
the convention center.
But you don't have
Very
the Cubs, Dan.
Yeah.
Go Cubs, go.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, Chicago, what do you say? Yeah.
Hey, you got a cantina. You got a bowling alley.
Yeah,
you got
football field.
You got a comedy place.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is we need
Mall.
a West Coast spot. That
You got a
needs to
mall.
be
You
in
got
the-
an outlet mall.
That's true that you do. We need
I
a
think I've
West
been to
Coast
that.
spot.
I think I've been to
needs
that
be
mall
in
multiple times.
the,
Yeah.
in the show circuit here for the hobby. We
I
need
know.
a West Coast
I
spot.
just the Burbank
I know we
show,
I know we
guess,
have
and the
I
West
know we
Coast
got
Card
West
show.
Coast Card Show, but it would be cool if either we had a Fanatics Fest out here. I know that was in the cards for a minute.
I'll take a Las Vegas.
Vegas seemed, man, the Mint, when we did have those 2 years of it in Vegas, it was like, man, there should be a show here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And then, no,
Yep.
not going to happen. That was in a blink of an eye, that show was gone, unfortunately.
Well, we always talk about questionable autographs, and Frank Gore Jr. made some headlines with the auto. If you're watching the video here, you can see it. It's one for the ages. It ranks up there for maybe one of the worst autos of all time. It's just a FJG, and it's kind of written like
Clean.
in kid handwriting. I
You'd
don't
be
know.
very proud if your 6-year-old came home and showed you that.
Clean. Straight to the point.
You'd feel very proud.
You can read it. You know
Yeah.
exactly what it stands for.
Yeah, if your 5-year-old came home and said, look, I wrote the letters F, G, and J, be like, wow, great job.
Great job.
From a professional athlete, not so much.
No. So then there's a viral video of a guy going like, "Hey Frank," and it was probably OTAs for the Bills. He's part of the Bills organization. And they're like, "Hey Frank Gore, like, what's up with this auto? Can you explain this?"
You think they say, "Hey Frank Gore," or you go, "Hey Frank Gore Jr."
Well, there's a video. I don't know.
Hey Frank.
I think they said, hey,
Frankie.
Frank.
Hey Frank.
Hey Frank,
Hey, Junior.
Junior,
Yeah.
two.
Could be.
And he's like, "I didn't sign that. That's fake."
Mm.
And they're like, and then he claims, "Give me that, and I'll get you the right auto." Right. So
Yeah.
now it goes into question that all the Topps Chrome autos, at least, well, who signed them then?
Yeah. There were a few other ones that surfaced of other products, even non-Tops products. I think it was a Leaf product that I saw where that auto is there, the FGJ. This, of course, also coming on the heels of stuff we were talking about last week. Like we just did a whole segment of like questionable autos in some of these products.
Yep.
The messy stuff, the Willie Mays ones that we were talking about, and now this. It's not the best look, to put it lightly. Now,
It's not a great response by Frank Gore Jr.
no, not a great response at all. It's also when the Bills posted that up, I don't think they knew what they were getting themselves into within this neck of the woods. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't think they
Because
knew they were opening a can of
honestly,
worms.
he's like, I mean, he's just in a breach of contract, and he's just openly admitting to it.
Right. So,
Right.
So it's like-
no really wrongdoing from Topps. These are, for one, these are sticker autos. So they've been sent to what they understand as a place that they, either his agents, either his residence, either his place that he lives when he plays for the Bills. To their understanding, they sent them to be signed by Frank Gore Jr. They then got back with that auto on there, and you know, it's not like Frank Gore has a highly publicized auto where they can be like, hey, that doesn't look like his auto. In their idea, they're probably like, oh, that auto sucks, but hey, he turned it back in. Let's put him on cards because we paid him whatever we paid him.
Right.
You know, whether it's $1, $2, but they paid him something. They received it back. They used them. They budgeted the auto into the set. So he also, like we said last week, there's affidavits that are signed saying, hey, you know, this is my autograph, all that stuff. They usually cover their bases so with their teams of lawyers, especially probably Fanatics has all this on lockdown, even more than what Panini and Topps did prior to Fanatics coming in. So to their understanding, this is Frank Gore's autograph. So for him to come out openly and say that's not my autograph, that's fake, well, then who signed it for you, Frank?
Yeah. That's
Who
the
did you give
only
the
thing-
autos to sign to?
I think it's one of two things. One, you're right. Somebody is signing it for him in times where he can't do it. Or two,
I think he flat out admitted that.
yes, right. Or here's my theory. I think he's embarrassed that he did do that. And he's like, oh, it's not me. Why would that be me? Come on. I didn't do that. That's a kid's writing. Knowing full well he did that and is getting blasted for it by his teammates. Like, what the hell is this, bro? What are you doing here? So I think there's that theory potentially as well.
I honestly think that somebody else signed it for him because that is the look of an
that's the
auto.
most
That is the
likely
look of an auto of somebody else. Like if I signed yours or Dan's auto, that's probably something similar that I would do.
Nice.
I mean, I know your autos because I've seen them for years, but I'm just saying, like, how do you? You're like, you can't go wrong with the 3 initials, right? You can't go wwrong because if you just did the FG, it could be Frank Gore Sr., legend, one of the greatest of all time to ever play the game. Probably him and Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, and then Frank Gore. But Frank Gore Jr. not a legend, doesn't have a recognizable auto, and I'm sure this is how I picture it. The agent gets the auto, or somebody on his team gets the auto, trying to get Frankie in the offseason to sign this. Frankie's been busy. Maybe he's out there working out with his dad. I don't know. He was into some hobbies. He's out there. He's busy. He's enjoying the offseason. Deadlines have to be hit. Guys like, hey, I'll take care of this for you. You know what I mean? I'll knock this off of our to-do list. Not thinking of the repercussions of it. Or knowing that we're fulfilling the contract obligations.
Or the agent dropped the ball, completely forgot to get him the stickers.
That would be the funniest version
and
of
it
it.
Basically was like, I need to get this done, and I don't want to bother him now. So the agent is basically like, I'll have somebody in the office do
Which
this.
then explains the reaction.
Yeah.
Because then he's like, what is that? Yeah, that's not mine.
Yeah, I think the reaction was legitimate to where he actually, I don't think, had any idea that he was supposed to sign those.
Right.
I think the agent dropped the ball, and the agent just got it done and got it figured out, and that's the result.
We've got another, what was it, Randy and Rosarena and who was it, Austin Meadows?
Oh, the clubhouse.
Remember that? The clubhouse. He was
Clubhouse.
like, oops. Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially if they're not card guys. They're like, oh, no one, what's that mean? No one will ever know.
Also,
no one will ever know.
Also, whatever happened, let's just assume it's an agent, it's somebody on his team who's like, crap, I got to sign these. Why is this the way you do it to see if you're trying to be sneaky? Like, just do printed letters.
Yes.
That feels like makes it just that much more obvious. It's really sticking out like a sore thumb.
Maybe they don't even know where these go. Like maybe they don't know at the time the
didn't.
public sees these eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why you would. I mean, I'm assuming he signed at least 1,000 stickers.
Yeah. If I was to have to, like, all of us right now, they're like, come up with a Frank Gore Jr. autograph. I think all of us would try to do something. It probably wouldn't be that.
It wouldn't. No,
wouldn't be that.
Now, is this also maybe a bigger conversation of like no one knows cursive anymore? Maybe that might be it.
But
too.
we clearly saw some of his older autographs. They look different. So.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I'm not encouraging agents to do this, but a good agent, a good sneaky agent, I guess. I don't know if I say good, but anyway, would at least go on Google. Like, okay, what does his autograph look like? Okay, I'll try my best. That's it. Just try your best. Of like, I'll trace over it or something. But no, that's not what happened. Oh well.
Or I mean,
or who knows?
Look at his dad's auto and try to make a. I mean, his dad has a ton of autographs that you can find. So you basically take that and maybe add a JR at the end.
Yeah. There were a million better solutions to this. First and foremost being make sure he signs this stuff if he really didn't. And the other being, well
did we look? I mean, did we even look and see what these autos are going for? I mean,
does it actually make these autos in a weird way more desirable?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
When did he get drafted? Last year?
I think so. Last year.
I don't think he got drafted. I think he got signed.
But he was on like the practice squad for the Bills, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, actually, they go for a lot more than I thought.
I'm telling you, it's the name. He's still Frank Gore Jr.
A base variation of $49. But you know what's so strange about this is look at this. And I know it's not great for the TV, but these are the ones in question, right? See that one? And then there's the same set with a different auto.
Yeah.
If you type in Topps Chrome Frank Gore Jr.
I'm actually looking right now, and it's interesting. Well, this is Sapphire that I'm looking at, so maybe a little different. But here, I'll just try to get the image up.
Is there a chance We know how it goes down with these athletes, right? They're signing those sticker books and they're blasting through them. Is there a chance that 200, 300, 400, 1,000 autographs into it, he's like, I'm just gonna print my initials here on maybe 100 of these just to blast through them.
I mean, we've talked about it with the Jackson Merrill stuff. Remember how he's like, I've got like a million different autos.
Can you go back to the Frank Gore Jr.?
The bad one.
No, the good one.
The good one. So this is the good one. This is a out of Sapphire, number to 5.
Yeah, and I'm seeing
that autograph also looks like I'm gonna try my best to sign for somebody else.
Maybe
Yeah,
a
see
little
if we can
bit.
find
That
another
one
one.
looks like I'm gonna try my best
But at least
because that
it's
right there.
not
Look
that,
at
like,
look
least
at
there's
the
an effort there.
Look at the pen strokes, and it looks
right.
very, very slow.
Just go to Frank Gore Jr. Auto and then show all the results, because then that's where you can see there's actually a lot of different variations. Like, just bring it up, Frank Gore Jr. autograph, and then just show some of the listings here on the screen. It definitely looks like it's either changed or it's just
that last one
inconsistent.
looks very, very slow.
There is a lot. I mean, there's some consistency. I will say that as here he goes. This is the eBay results. There's some consistency.
But look at the one
there.
with the logo. The what is that?
That booklet looks a little iffy. We keep going down. There you go. There's definitely a different one right here with the select green.
The one with the
head
the,
of
the eagle.
Yeah, with the patch. That one.
Yeah, that looks completely different.
That looks different. And then you've got FGJ. I mean, it is kind of all over the board. It's everywhere. That's a nice one right there. The NT from college, which feels notable.
That one looks completely. How many people are signing his
I don't know.
autos?
I have this. I have a hunch that the closest thing to the real are these 2 National Treasures college.
Yeah, because
autos.
those look consistent, and that would have been probably done
Right.
while he was in college.
And because I do think the inconsistencies begin after players go pro. Like, players start and they're like, oh, I'm going to make the most fancy auto ever. And then they're like, oh, I have to do this for the next 10, 15 years? Oh, okay, I'm going to shorten it a little bit.
Those NT, are they on card?
Those are on card. Those appear to be on card. Yeah, those are both on card. Those are both on card.
Well, there's the difference right there.
Maybe they're in person.
Yeah.
Or in person. Done.
They're in person. Yep, and all the on-card one, all the NT.
And the sticker ones are all over the place.
Well, there's a couple of sticker ones that give you that star one from his rookie year as well. And then you've got here, I'll bring it back up. And then you've got some of there you go. You can see some of these ones right here. Phoenix right here, that one, a Prism. Also with that sort of A that kind of looks like a star.
But the FJG looks like it's only on tops stickers.
Yeah. The tops, specifically tops chrome, and they are. And Sapphire, though, looks like it got the good batch.
But that
The
Frank
good
Gore Jr. autograph looks different than the Frank Gore Jr. autographs on NT. So
It does.
who knows?
I don't know.
Well, I think it's safe to say that he didn't sign all his autographs.
No.
I think there's so much inconsistency that there's definitely a couple people involved.
Yeah.
Yep. Just sign them, guys.
Well, let us know what you guys think, and wonder if Topps will be doing anything, because Frank Gore Jr. said himself. And I don't think he realizes that there's hundreds that were signed that way.
I mean,
what
does Topps have to do here to basically ensure, like,
Are we going to go Dak Prescott? Is Frank Gore Jr. going to get his own hologram?
Yeah. Right. You can't just have somebody at every single house of every single guy, or like just kind of like hovering over them. Like, okay, make sure it's done.
But if it's $20 auto, is it worth anybody's time
That's
to get
the
it
other part of
replaced
it.
too?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
the amount of money that's going to take to.
If it's Shohei Ohtani, yeah, sure, bring him in. You need to make sure that's
with
authentic.
that mindset, it kind of ruins the whole system. If none of these athletes have to sign their cards and they pay somebody else to sign them, then what are we doing here?
Yeah. Like I said, I think the manufacturers do their due diligence, and it's just turns out this way.
But yeah, I agree. You can't fly somebody down there to just hover over them and be like, okay, go ahead and knock this out. Plus, players are going to want to sign those stickers at their own convenience, as opposed to like, I'm not going to sit here and knock out 3,000 autographs with somebody just waiting for me.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there needs to be some language put into the contracts of like to your best ability, please replicate the autograph you're choosing on every single one of these for a certain amount of time or whatever it might be to just make sure.
we've seen over the years, like, autographs get a little bit more short-handed as they go on, especially on stickers, but, like, nothing to the point of that where, I mean, he had 5 or 6 different variations of autographs, and he hasn't been in that many sets.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, not that much.
Well, big weekend of sports. Portugal winning the UEFA Nations League Championship, which I believe is like only the second year they've done it.
This is okay. So we had this tournament on at the shop, and I think a few of the non-soccer fans are like, "Wait a minute, what's this one? This isn't the World Cup? No, this isn't the Euro? No, it's not the UEFA Champions. No, that's different. This is the UEFA Nations League, which has existed since 2018 and happens, I think, every other year. So, yeah, didn't really know about it until recently. But, yeah, Portugal won. The one for Ronaldo.
And what was crazy is he got hurt. He went down and took himself out of the game, basically, towards the end. And he was actually watching. It went to PKs. So, this is the finals, and it went down to the PKs. And he was like covering his eyes, like he didn't want to see it, and he was very emotional on the win. So people may say he's all about himself, but he seemed like he was kind of taking it in as knowing that he's 40 and he may not have many of these left in the tank. I don't know if he's going to play the World Cup this year or not at the age of he'll be 41.
Yeah, I mean if it happens, it is 100% his last one.
And it was funny because the announcers were like, I don't know if the coach is going to take him out. He seems a little slow out there. And then he gets a goal. And they're like, well, that's probably why they kept him in. He got a goal. But then he was playing against Lamine Yamal, and they pulled Lamine Yamal at the end. They pulled him.
Interesting.
So you're talking about the guy who was maybe next in line. I know he's still only 17, but did not make a big impact in this game to a Spain team that was already that was favored. And then you have Alexi Lalas, who is he calls the game and. Here he's in the studio, former USA soccer player, took a shot at the USA soccer team by saying, oh, the Gold Cup's coming around, and USA, half the guys are on vacation or don't play in it. And he's all, you got Portugal and Spain. They have their best talent out there representing their nation.
It just means something different. Even you could see for a tournament where I'm like, this is the third tournament that is of importance, maybe even lower if you include the Olympics in there. And yet they still got all their guys. So, it speaks to the passion and the love they have for, the importance of representing their nation and for European soccer right now. So,
there's that. There was the finals, the NHL finals, the NBA finals, Belmont. There was.
I got a shout out.
Baseball.
It was baseball.
Baseball's just always going on.
Giants got a sweep, big sweep. Matt Chapman walk-off homer. I got to shout out the French Open final. Coco Gauff wins in the women's. So another notch, right there where it's like she's still climbing up the ranks she's becoming one of the all-time greats very early on. If you didn't catch it on Sunday morning, so one of the best matches I've ever seen between Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, 5.5 hours, the second longest men's final in Grand Slam history. Insane. Sinner had match point, championship point. Up, I think he was up 5-3 in the what would have been the final set. Was on his championship point, and Alcaraz came back, won that game, ended up winning the set. Had to go to tie breaks. It was sensational.
And that was 1 and 2, right? Both
that was number one and number two.
Ranking
Sinner,
1 and 2.
Sinner has won 3 of the previous. Whatever it was, like since 2023, I think he won 3 Grand Slams. Alcaraz had won 2. Now
when was that on our time?
He was on at a pretty reasonable hour for us. Well, I mean 5 hours, so I think it ended at around noon, almost noon our time, 11:45 our time. Yeah. So it started a little early. It started around
where was it? Where was the games at?
In France, excuse me.
Well, because
it was in French.
It was in French.
It was in French.
Watch it all in French.
No,
it was
very difficult to follow
French
along.
Open in Paris. Yeah, it was
because the
incredible.
UEFA was in Germany, and I was looking at the time difference there. It was like midnight.
Yeah.
When they were playing still. So
yeah, but Man, such a good match that I was just locked in the entire time. There was like 4 shots that were just
And a lot of the names
crazy
that were
shots
really popular in UFC or in tennis royalty,
Yes,
by
indeed.
Tops. Because was it Sabalenka was in there? She was
Yeah.
all the way to the end too.
I think it's interesting that like a few years ago, remember when Topps started with tennis stuff and they had that first Topps Chrome tennis and it was like, yikes, this is a weak checklist. There was just nobody there. And everyone was like, well, the upper deck's got Serena and Federer. Like you don't have Federer, you don't have Nadal, you don't have Serena. Like, why do I care? And now it's like they've got Goff. They've got Sinner, they've got all these guys that are in there. Alcaraz, who I just saw right now, he's got his. I guess this would be considered his very first rookie card, a Net Pro Premium. I don't.
Yeah, Net Pro seems to have a lot. I think
Yeah.
Agassi's there. Sampras has one.
An autographed PSA
Serena.
10,
Serena.
1 of 1, is currently on Golden for $50,000, and apparently
Jeez.
just overnight.
What year is that?
2022.
Okay.
So it's the year he won his first tournament.
I don't think we get allocated any net pro.
Yeah, I don't know where to get that
I
from.
don't have no idea.
I got to imagine is that a overseas product?
Sounds
It's
like
gotta
it might be.
right? But that just shot up. So anyway, the tennis market, I think suddenly, now Topps tennis, like, man, they got all the heavy hitters now. So keep an eye on the tennis market.
Back to Fanatics Fest here, as we mentioned. Besides the massive break we're doing, which is probably the highlight of the show for everybody, but there's some notable brand offerings, exclusive merch drops this year. So Antisocial Social Club, exclusive UFC and WWE merch. Wasn't that like 5 or 6 years ago that was really popular with all those sweatshirts?
They still remain pretty popular amid,
Is that what
through that.
they're connected with UFC?
They are partnering with UFC and WWE.
Oh,
to
but they
create
were
exclusive. No,
but-
this is This
But
is the
before
first
that,
time.
they were just it's just a clothing line, right?
They're a clothing line, like a streetwear clothing
Okay.
line. But yeah, this is their first.
And there's
partnership
always like
with-
people that spin off on it, right?
Oh yeah,
Anti-baseball baseball club.
But I
Like
do-
how you
yeah, I
see,
do
like,
remember-
People
I do
use
remember
Supreme
seeing-
logos and all that too.
I do remember seeing those like 5 years ago, and
They became a big thing, and now that they're going to have a UFC WWE partnership, I just saw Lids announced I think it's called the Players Club hats. They are coming back, Series 2. Those were a big hit last year. I just think the hats looked incredible. They look awesome. So I'm excited to see.
we pulled a
what comes out of
Chipper
that.
Jones last year.
Chipper and no, I
Jeter?
think you guys Chipper, Jeter, and Griffey. Oh, pretty good ones to get.
I think there was a
Griffey,
Royals one too.
Jeter. Oh, maybe that's what it was.
But then I think we had 2 boxes.
That's
so there
right.
was, like,
That's right.
6 hats or something.
That's right.
I do remember we opened those up and it was like 2:00 in the morning or
Yeah.
something. I was
After the karaoke.
I just want to go to bed.
Yeah, it's a hat. Yep, that sure is a
Oh,
hat.
that's a hat.
I'm surprised I
look
was
at
able to do that video.
That's a Yankee logo.
That's a
All
hat.
right, good night.
Yeah, there was a few adult sodas before that,
Hey,
so I'm surprised. it
city that
came out
never
okay.
sleeps.
I know. Yeah, we did it in the lobby. OVO, that's Drake's brand, right?
is
so
Drake's
he's going to
brand.
collab with New Era on MLB products.
That's right. Yeah, we're gonna have some MLB OVO collab, which I don't know. I know they've done collabs with like NBA. Don't know if they've done a ton of MLB.
They've done NFL. I've seen
They've
some
done
NFL.
So this might be their very first with Major League Baseball. And they had like the teams that were featured were like Yankees, Dodgers, Cubs, Blue Jays, Giants were one of them, and a few other ones. that
On the
were
side of
some
it,
the
is it
big
going to
ones.
say they not like us?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Beyond that.
got a weird case.
Is this
Let's
going to
see
be
about-
available at Fanatics Fest?
Looks like
Yes,
it. Yeah.
these are all going to be the exclusive. Now, there's exclusive drops at Fanatics Fest. Just looking at the general lineup, and I can put it up here on the screen. It seems like they are really going a lot harder on the exclusive drops. I know last year was big too with exclusive drops, but it feels like this time around.
And I feel like, we didn't have enough last year.
Right.
So maybe
Yeah.
they added a few more.
Yeah, I can show you right now. This is just from their website, just a general look at, the merch village, and you can see a pretty sizable amount of big names right there that are all going to be involved in their merch and with some exclusive merch drops. Funko, Nike, Mitchell & Ness, obviously. Spike's joint. I want to say that's Spike Lee right there. They got Topps, obviously, with the Series 2 Rawlings New Era. So there's a lot of big ones. I know
Mariucci is like a baseball bat, right?
Yeah, I think he also do tennis. I could be
Yes.
Yeah, Wilson obviously too.
Starter.
But yeah,
Municipal. It's Mark Wahlberg's brand.
that's right. Municipal, Born and Raised is a big one. Fear of God, I know, is like a
Yeah.
huge brand right now. So they're going a lot harder with that
culture,
stuff this
yeah.
year for sure.
So yeah, we'll have some exclusive coverage out there as well as those breaks. We're going to be doing free stuff at our booth. We have a brand new 15-year anniversary shirt that we will have in limited quantity. So be sure to check us out if you're headed to New York for Fanatics Fest,
Maybe
or
you
just
can,
another reason to go to Fanatics Fest.
Maybe you can flip it on eBay, which I saw today when I looked up some of our biggest hits of the past, obviously our triple logo man. And people are selling our Mojobreak Pulled It triple logo man shirt on eBay right now.
been
It's
on
on
there for a
multiple
while.
listings.
Yeah, we've
It's $28 bucks.
Yeah, we've had a lot of T-shirts over the years on the old eBay. And we give them away for free.
Give them away for free.
Yeah,
Free
so
money.
It's
Free money.
full 100% profit margin on that one.
Yep. Looks like the WNBA is going to have its first downtown cards debut in 2025. Donruss. WNBA. So your Caitlin Clarks. Do you have a picture of that Caitlin Clark,
Yes,
by the way?
yeah, I'll find it. But I found it interesting the fact that Donruss is going to be the home.
Well, that's what they
these
do.
cards, right?
They'll probably have the Donruss optic versions of the downtown.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, here, let me get this up real quick. There it is right here. Here is the Caitlin Clark Donruss downtown right there for our
Is it
watchers.
just me, or does it look like she has a mustache?
Oh, it's the shadow is weird there. Yeah, I can see what you mean. The shadowing is a little strange. Yeah.
I saw that, and I was like,
Beautiful downtown Indianapolis. Yeah. What's the torch? Is it my Fever, duh. Okay. Yeah.
But I was like, Fever.
Fever.
Yeah.
Of course. What am I,
Yeah,
an idiot?
that's a downtown.
it is a downtown.
That's a
downtown.
downtown.
It looks good.
It's a downtown regular right there.
Gonna be.
What do we think that card's going to be worth?
Ooh, good question. I don't know what her market
Well,
is
doesn't-
still healthy.
Not a rookie.
It's not a rookie, but it's her
Well, yeah, it
first ever downtown. No, it's 25 Donruss.
Oh, yeah, because they did not have a downtown.
But
so they
it
spaced
is-
it out, yeah.
I'm gonna say
It's her
the
first ever though.
I'm gonna say the base is gonna be $2,000.
That feels safe.
I
Yeah,
was thinking 5K, but yeah, probably.
I think the
somewhere between-
Two feels
I think the parallels will go up.
yeah, and
Go
then
up
you
to
from there.
5K. But
somewhere between $1 and $5,000.
I
is what I'm
think
saying.
if it was rookie year, you're probably looking at 5K.
How
but
did they miss the boat on the rookie year one? Why did they not do that?
It's tough, man. It's
Makes-
tough to get product out.
Doesn't really make much sense to me either. Like it feels like if you knew
Well-
Caitlin Clark was coming in the league, you'd be like, all right, all hands on
Are
deck.
you? I'm actually happy that they're not being like, well, she's never had a Donruss downtown, so we're just gonna slap a rookie card logo on it.
For 2025.
I- could've very easily done that.
I appreciate them actually, you know what, putting it out there and not having a rookie card logo on it. It's 2025.
True.
It's true. True.
I know
So-
too much Bay Area talk. I know, but shout out Valkyries beating the Las Vegas Aces by 20
Oh, yeah.
this week.
I think
Huge,
they-
biggest
yeah.
win.
Was that on Friday?
I think it was Friday. Yeah,
Yeah.
biggest
That
win in
was-
franchise history. Was that Friday or Saturday?
They're pretty good, right?
Who?
No,
Aces?
they're like 2 and
No,
2
the
and
Valkyrie.
five.
Oh,
They're
Valkyrie?
like 3 and 5.
Yeah,
now.
they're an expansion team. Like
It's part of the Commissioner's Cup, no?
yes,
Yeah.
I think they're like 3 and 6. So they're an expansion team. But hey, it was a great win. Best win they've had.
Without their first overall pick, too, I think.
Right.
They're
Yeah, well, yeah, that whole thing with the draft is a little weird, where I think 2 of their 3 top picks are not on the team.
What do you mean?
Including one that they were like promoting.
What do you
this-
mean not on the team?
They didn't make the roster.
What?
Yeah.
Well, no, I think the other one went
one
back overseas.
Yes, one is playing overseas still. The other, they were like promoting her like she's going to be one of the faces of the franchise. She threw out the first pitch at the Giants game day before the season started. Sorry, you didn't make the cut. You're not on the roster. Yeah.
But the other one, I think, is getting paid more money
Tough world.
in overseas play. So.
Yeah. So she's gonna stay there, and then we'll see. Yeah. Anyway, just let me know.
Rad.
Golden acquired Studio Auctions, one of the lead, or I should say, eBay acquired Studio Auctions, one of the leading auction sites for movies and TV props and historical items. So we've already seen that. I mean, hopefully they stop making Cheeto cards, and they get more actual,
God.
real things, not, red dusted Mario
They have
cards.
got to stop with
Mario
the Cheetos.
Cheetos.
They got to stop. Like 3 Cheetos ago, it got no pun intended. It got stale.
Yeah.
But no pun totally intended.
I don't
by
think
the way.
these Cheeto cards. I don't think these Cheeto are legit.
No.
I think they're manufactured.
They
I don't think
100%
anybody is
are.
pulling these out of bags of
No.
Cheetos.
Nobody is.
No.
Yeah. let's actually go to like that's like something cool. Like, yeah, let me get you know, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle head. Let me get that. That's cool. I want to see that. Yeah. I don't know if
There's
that's
this
what I
guy.
would
I think
get,
he's
but-
like he keeps coming up on my timeline. Man, he works hard. He makes these he buys pallets of Flamin' Hot Cheetos and he makes them into some kind of food where he crushes them up. And,
Okay.
and he's great at viral videos. I think he's called like Hibachi something. And he's out there and he needs the Cheetos. We need to use them for those purposes, not for finding fake Charizards.
No, give it to that guy.
So
You'll put a better use to it.
yeah, exactly. Hits of the week. We had a big week last week with Cup, Sterling, some select soccer, and still breaking some Bowman. As you can see, we pulled a Shohei Ohtani out of Sterling. Angels Shohei Ohtani on that one. That's a big card. Today, is that the card from today?
That's literally today.
yeah.
It was a late edition. The Ichiro Anime Superfractor. Pulled in a Bowman break that was a $22 spot.
$22 spot.
Not
I was in the
bad.
office. I didn't know we pulled it. I mean, I couldn't tell. That we pulled it today.
Is that a Bedard?
There was a Bedard. We had a couple of Bedards. That one was probably the best.
logos.
Didn't hit a true RPA, huh?
Not hit a true. Did not hit a true
Yet.
Bedard. Yet. Still got more Cup. Great one, Wayne Gretzky. I believe that's number to 25 on that
that
one.
a-
Or number to 10? It might be number to 10. I'm not sure.
And a messy gold.
And then a messy gold out of Select FIFA.
Yeah, so
Select FIFA's been low-key pretty solid, actually.
yeah, and we're breaking, as you can see, there's a wide arrangement of different products we break at Mojobreak.com. We'll be doing Series 2 this week. So head on over there and get in on something. We're doing everything.
I think we need a
Anything that
hits
has
of the week
cards.
jingle.
Ooh.
If we're gonna have that
Well,
segment. We need
right,
we need a hits of the week jingle.
Got a new task. All right.
Let's get on that
I'm gonna get to
chat
the lab.
GBT.
I'm going to get to the lab. No, this is all going to be man-made. These fingers are going to
Oh,
work
speaking
their
of that,
magic.
you guys, did you see Timbaland signed the first AI artist?
Did he really?
First AI artist,
Oh,
yeah.
brother.
Yeah, Timbaland.
Well, Here we go.
leading
Sorry,
the
sorry,
way.
Nelly Furtado. You're out.
It was.
We've moved on.
What did he say? It was Timbaland launches AI music company Stage Zero with first AI artist Tata.
Tata.
I like it.
I mean,
All right.
how much do you have to pay Tata? Is nothing, right?
Zero.
It's a
You
computer.
don't have to pay him anything. That's
I mean, if you think about making money, you're just having
Well,
you're having like
sure.
a computer make the songs for you. You don't
well,
have to,
yeah. I mean, you know,
you don't have to pay anything.
I don't know. I like to think it doesn't have that human touch. I mean, it quite literally doesn't.
Could be better.
Highly doubt it.
Could be.
I think we're getting to. I don't know. I am firmly of the belief we're at that AI is simply copy of a copy. At a certain point, that copy of a copy starts to morph and not quite look the same, doesn't sound the same, doesn't quite.
I always
nothing.
feel like we talk about that one
don't-
multiplicity with
Yeah.
But if you want to say who's behind the helm, one of the best beat makers of all time,
I guess I would just
Timbaland is
rather
on the
him.
Mount Rushmore of,
Yeah.
of people who've made beats over the last 20 or 30 years.
No doubt about it. Which is why I'm like, just make new music, Timbaland. Like, what? Come on, man.
Now he doesn't have to sit in the studio and wait for somebody to drop a
Right.
track perfect. You know, it's
I don't know. It doesn't.
it's just perfect every time.
I don't know. I don't like it.
Cody,
Yeah.
next week you're gonna have AI.
like it.
You're gonna have AI Dan and Doug here.
Oh God.
that's
Oh jeez, I'm just talking to Chat GPT
Yeah.
all day long.
Yep. We're gonna upload my brain and Dan's brain
Not that far, unfortunately. Anyway,
to the younger versions of
I'm
ourselves.
pretty excited about that.
you're pretty excited.
I'm pretty excited.
All right. Well, that makes one of us.
Come in, I can argue with AI Dan.
I mean,
don't know anything
maybe
about that.
there's something to that. We have a debate, and it's the AI version of ourselves versus us. So we'll see. I don't know. Whoever comes out on top takes over the podcast.
Could you imagine if something like fact checked our opinion in real time? It's like, well, no, you're actually wrong because this is the actual way that this happens. You're like,
Right. Again, AI
No,
also
I mean,
told
could you
me
imagine if
it's-
that was like a robot version you sit next to you that was just correcting everything, every single thing you said?
well, actually, that was not Frank Gore Jr.
Yeah.
He did sign those
God,
cards.
it'll be the most annoying, like the biggest buzzkill. Like, stop it.
To rip out the batteries.
That's the guy. That's a guy at a party that you don't ever want to hang out with. The guy's like, well, actually, this is
Well.
like, shit. Let me. Anyway,
I love it.
Oh, God. I'll never forget the AI thing that someone looked up where they're like, is glue okay to eat? And then the AI response was, yes, glue is actually a very healthy thing to eat as vital nutrients.
Well, we all ate it as kids, but I think that's the Elmer's stuff.
That's probably what it's doing.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
well, it must be.
Elmer's or both.
I
like
mean,
the
Elmer's
glue.
is the way to go. If you're going to get
I mean,
Elmer's,
if you
yeah.
look
'Cause
at
you
it,
can
look
put
at
it
a glue stick and tell me that doesn't look like it's something you should eat.
Basically, it's like, do you like a sauce or do you like a push pop? You know, if you're
Push pop.
Yeah, well then you're gonna go with the stick.
Yeah.
Just take a big old chunk.
Probably worse things to eat.
There definitely are.
But we were talking about some of our biggest hits here. Some of our biggest hits in Mojobreak history from our top 10 episode 300. From episode 300, that is. 400 is right around the corner, by the way.
Yeah, it's a
But
good
as
time
you
to
can
revisit.
Revisit. We pulled the LeBron James, multiple LeBron James logo mans over the years out of Flawless. Obviously, the triple logo man that we talked about a little earlier. We had a shirt of it. Curry, LeBron, and Luka with the 75th logos. Pulled. I'm sure we pulled multiple Patrick Mahomes RPAs, but we do have one that's shown here of a number to 5. So lots of them over the years. Transcendent Babe Ruth. Dan pulled a Transcendent Babe Ruth cut auto. I think I pulled one too.
So did you.
So we've pulled multiple Babe Ruth autos. So there's been some great ones over the year. We're going to have a reoccurring segment of some of the biggest hits of the week. So if you guys have something to submit to that you hit with us that you want to see on the show, that would be cool. We have like a little shout out to who has the card. May help your sale.
Might be a good thing to do for our 50th anniversary. I'm kind of like taking everyone behind the scenes for here on the show, but like a look at like we could even make our own bracket of like all of our biggest hits through the years and like what comes out on top. I have a feeling I know what comes out on top, but still would be fun to kind of like
hard to beat the triple logo man.
It's good. I mean, it's the clear.
But
It's the number one overall
I'll
seed.
tell you the flawless Mac Jones is right up there.
It would be in the bracket. It still is in the bracket. Maybe the seating's a little lower.
You never know. He might be the future of the 49ers.
Might take us to the Super Bowl. You never know.
Yeah, and there's
He
a few.
hey, if anybody can, he can.
That's true. Well,
So Mac Jones.
that's the Shanahan's plan, all coming to fruition. It's all part of
Just
the plan.
pay Brock Purdy $55 million to sit on the bench.
All part of the plan.
Yeah, he's mastermind.
All part of the plan.
I did see a guy pulled the Wembanyama.
Logo man.
The
Kaboom, I believe.
the
right?
Kaboom, the green
one of
one,
them.
and I saw the guy who was like, it was like Friday. It was like $200K, right, or best offer. It's the green 101, not even rookie year, second year out of Revolution. And then today, I think he's asking $100K, so he cut it. He's 50% off, so it's probably a good deal.
Well,
now.
that's a pretty good 50% off. Is a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
$100K for it. So.
Sweet.
I don't know. I think it's like probably like a $20,000 card personally, but yeah, if somebody wants to pay you $100K.
Yeah, it ain't rookie. It's not a rookie Wemby.
But it is a green 101. There's only
Green
one
101.
like it. So, but this gets me into our last segment. Roman Anthony's getting the call up. We just talked about Jack Caggs last week, and now we have Roman Anthony, who I felt like had a lot more buzz coming into the season than Jack Caggs.
Way
we didn't
more.
we didn't think Jack Caggs was going to get called up this year.
Yeah.
But looks like a superfractor, the superfractor of his, $62,500. It's a lot of money, dude.
In comparison, I just threw up some notable superfractor sales that were in the ballpark of that one. 62,500 for old Roman Anthony, who has, again, as of this recording, yet to play a single Major League Baseball game. Paul Skeens, after the 2024 season, or maybe it was in the middle of the 2024 season, the first Bowman auto for him sold for $80,000. Paul Goldschmidt, depending on who you ask, maybe a Hall of Famer, $49,000.
Undervalued.
Undervalued, maybe.
Did Tim Lincecum come by that one, or?
Yeah, I know. No one else.
So I
can
gotta
ask.
own something that has to do with Paul Goldschmidt.
That's interesting. It sold for that much in 2024.
In 2024, there was a lot of high first Bowman superfractor sales in 2024, which is interesting.
Yeah, because is that Kyle Tucker at $40,000?
That's $40,000 for Kyle Tucker, who, I mean, he's making a nice case right now for some MVP votes in the National League.
He's the only one who's a World Series champion.
He's the only one a World Series champion. He's about to get paid this offseason. And then there's Bobby Witt, sold in 2020, $43,200.
Kyle Tucker, future Giant.
Oh God, if only.
No, I mean he's going to be a free agent. The Giants have to sign
I wish
one of these marquee hitters.
They were trying to make a trade for him. They were in the market to trade for him.
We're gonna sign him. We're gonna give him way too much money.
He's gonna bat 210.
And I'm gonna be so happy when it happens. And
Yeah, I
then
mean,
you're right, when
look,
he's batting 210,
Willie
I'll be like,
Adames is
oh,
hitting
no.
$180.
Kyle Tucker, I liked the Willie Adames move. Kyle Tucker.
Do you still like the Willie Adames
I
move?
just said I liked it. I'm still. There's a lot of time.
I mean,
There's a lot of time on that contract.
I like his enthusiasm.
I do too.
Well, that's the whole talk about him. They're like, he's first out of the dugout after any walkouts.
Kyle Tucker is a far better player than Willie Adames. Let's be honest. Kyle Tucker is a much better hitter. Kyle Tucker when he's on.
Why did we sign Willie Adames?
You gotta have a glue guy.
A glue guy.
You gotta get a glue guy.
Oh man,
that's all we can get, dude.
So anyway, the Superfractor sales are interesting there. The Bobby Witt one at 43. That was the year that set came out.
That's what I was gonna say. It sold a little early, right?
Sold really early, and is that what's that card now?
Probably at least 80,000.
Yeah,
I was 80,000.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe
100,000. It's gotta be more than that. I'm curious
if the Skeens goes on the market right now, I don't think it gets 80 grand.
Probably not.
I think it gets
even though he is having a pretty good season.
I think it doesn't. It's definitely under that.
I think it's about 60.
That much, you think? I think it probably takes a 10K dip. I'm going to say it still is a 70.
Pitcher.
But he's playing good this year, right?
No, he's having a great year.
Yeah, but his record isn't great.
I mean,
yeah.
Look, they don't.
Neither is Logan
It's
Webb.
It's 2025. We're not talking wins and losses anymore. Come on now.
It's a long season.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about wins and losses anymore.
Nobody's ever going to win 20 games. 20 games used to be the benchmark of being
Can you name
ace.
the last 20-game winner in Major League Baseball?
Josh Beckett.
No, it wasn't that long ago.
Bob
It
Welch.
still happens. This is the thing. It still does happen like every single year. There still will be a guy most years that will win 20 games. I'm looking it up right now. Did anybody do it in 2024? No, they did not.
Nobody
Anyone do it in
Nobody
2023?
won 20 games.
No one won 20 games. Did they do it in 23? Yes. One guy won 20 games in 2023. Can you name who?
Did he win the Cy Young?
He did not that year. Did not win the Cy Young Award.
NL or AL?
NL. One of the more promising young pitchers in baseball.
Zach Wheeler?
Nope.
Sandy Alcantara.
Nope. He did in 20. Did he win in 22? Sandy Alcantara, I believe, won 20.
Having a terrible season this year, though.
Having an awful year.
I think I dropped him on fantasy.
Absolutely abysmal year.
Somebody had dropped Randy Rosarena in our league. I picked him up.
Oh, I did. He sucks.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
It was me. Yeah, he's absolutely terrible.
For what it's worth, 24 was the first year in a while that no one won 20. But Giants just faced him yesterday. Literally just faced him yesterday as we're recording this.
Max Fried.
Spencer Strider. Won 20 games?
The mustache guy.
2 years ago. 20-5. 2 years ago.
Jeez.
Chris Sale got closest last year, 18-3. So did Tarek Skubal, 18-4.
But if you go, and I know, you go back to the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I would say there was probably 10 or 12 pitchers that won 20 games.
I just picked out a year. 2005. There were 4.
4.
4.
Well, that's close to 12.
And if you go down, 7 guys won 18 or more.
When was the last time somebody won 30 games?
Oh, that's like Steve Carlton probably in the 70s.
Bob Gibson.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys don't
Mashed
win 20
Potatoes
games
Johnson.
anymore. Mashed Potato Johnson. Absolutely.
Walter Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, that
Three Finger Brown.
Roman Anthony is here. Where the hell the Red Sox are even going to put him, who knows? They are like, you want to talk about a team that is just desperate to try something different, but like they're putting shortstops in center field, they're putting third baseman at DH, they're putting first baseman at second base. Like
I like it.
It's all
you
over the place.
You got to hit. You got to score runs. Maybe the Giants should look into that.
More errors than the Colorado Rockies this year. The Boston Red Sox.
Nobody
No.
nobody cares about wins and losses. Nobody cares about defense and
More
errors.
errors than the Colorado Rockies.
You got to keep down that ERA. And if you're have 4 errors a game, that ERA is going to be low.
Oh, by the way, all the while I've been trying to look this up. The Bobby Witt Jr. Superfractor, we're like, yeah, that's a bigger card. No, I think we were saying in the 80K range, it's got to be well above that because a red refractor PSA 9 sold in March of this year for $114,000.
Wow. So maybe a 200K card.
It might be a 200K card,
That's
which
crazy.
I think the judge is 300, right? Is over 300.
How's Bobby Witt doing?
He's having a good year. He's having another good year.
He's in the top 5 of face of baseball, I would say.
Oh, yeah. I think so. And I think when you're talking
Bryce Harper.
collectors, too.
No, Bryce Harper's not playing, right?
Aaron
He's
Judge.
hurt.
Yeah, he got hit in the elbow, I think, right?
He's still the face of baseball. It doesn't matter.
He's up there. He's certainly up there.
Maybe a senior citizen face of baseball.
Bryce Harper's a Hall of Famer.
I mean, for
Yeah,
the guy
Bryce
that was like literally like
I agree with that.
the collectible guy when we just started breaking, and that was 15 years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
And he's still collectible. He's better than Mike Trout.
both of them without World Series. Right?
I mean, how about you would never?
I feel like we've had this
we
argument
never
before,
you
I'm
never
sure.
would have that conversation. I think 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was like, oh,
Yeah.
you have Mike Trout, and then you have basically everybody else. But Mike Trout's fallen off, and Bryce Harper.
he doesn't
has
steal
got-
he doesn't steal bases though.
He's gotten older, but he's actually stayed at that all-star caliber player.
I think the thing though is the peak of Trout was still so good that Harper is still is. I think maybe
What
by
do you
the
think?
end of the
What do you
career,
think that Trout superfractor goes for now? If it was put on the market.
I don't know. Not
'Cause what did
millions of
what did it
dollars.
sell
Not
for?
$4 million.
What did it
Not
sell for?
4 million.
3.8 million or something like that.
No. Does it sell for $1 million? $500K.
What about the comps? Comped at 3.8. It's good.
Come to 3.8, bro. Come on. And so this is clearly a $6 million card.
I don't think it sell. Maybe $1 million, but I think $1 million just based on the fact that it sold for 3.8.
It's the yeah, exactly.
But I think if you erase that comp and that 3.8 doesn't exist and you put it up there, I don't. 200,000,
I
150,000.
think it's 500,000.
No,
yeah, I don't think it's.
I don't think
fall off
so.
that hard.
I don't think so. What are you buying it based off of?
You're buying it
lore?
based off of his first 10 years where he was just this like there was nobody who could touch him. Like
Probably saw as the highest WAR out of anybody.
that's the thing. Is I think if you look at his wins above replacement right now, his 86.1 versus Bryce Harper for his career is, let's double check. I think it is going to be a little lower, 52.5, which is a great number.
The wins above replacement should be
great number.
based on each individual franchise. Like who on the Angels are you going to replace Mike Trout with? That's how wins above replacement. It should be based on the team's roster.
I mean, but anyway, the point being, Harper needs to catch up a lot because those first 10 years were insanely good. That said, you can make an argument. Bryce Harper has had like 2 of like the 25 best hitting seasons of the last 60
Trout
years.
probably does make the Hall of Fame.
He's definitely a Hall of Famer still.
Oh, I don't know about definitely a Hall of. I mean,
They're both definitely Hall of Famers in my book. They're both definitely.
I don't think I think if say they were to retire at the same exact time and they're eligible at the same exact time.
Mm-hmm. I actually think that benefits both of them.
I think they both get in. I think Harper has 15% more votes.
No.
Oh yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah. I think Trout gets in, but he gets in. He barely gets in.
No.
And I think
Harper.
I think Harper gets in. Not Griffey numbers, not 99%, but again 92.
No,
92.
Again, we got to remember 2012 to 20.
I don't remember. That's too far.
2012 to 2019 Harper is one of the great baseball players
That's
Trout
what
ever
I'm,
played.
that's what I'm
Trout. You mean
saying.
Trout.
That's my
Trout,
argument.
Trout.
No.
No,
That's,
damn it.
That's
No, that's one of the best baseball players who's ever played. That's like there's just bar none. He was on another level.
How many playoff games has he been in?
I know. Yes, we all know. He had the one playoff series, get swept by the Royals. It's a damn shame, but whatever.
And they're probably not going to make the playoffs this year.
Definitely not.
They're just getting worse.
Trade him.
I mean, you also got to put some value on the fact that Harper left, and the year after that, they won the World Series.
I mean, he did say at the spring training, "I'm going to bring a championship to Washington" when he was in a Phillies uniform, and well, lo and behold, he did it.
He did exactly
The
what he was.
ghost of
He did it.
Bryce Harper.
Just
All right, guys. Well, new releases this week. We've got breaks of Contenders football. So you got the tickets. You got 5 autos per box.
Crack
you got Michael
dice.
Penix. You got J.J. McCarthy. You've got a lot of guys to chase there. In Series 2, I don't know, man. I've been just looking at some of the prices that these online retailers have. We're looking at $139 for a hobby box and $279 right now for a jumbo. Like, I love Topps baseball, but what are we doing here? I mean, this is a flagship release. Let's get it in more people's hands at an affordable cost.
Agreed.
I don't know what's going on with that, but we will be breaking it. Don't know how much we're going to get of it because apparently it's the greatest Series 2 of all time. The greatest. Roki Sasaki. I mean, you want to talk about the guys we've already mentioned, Steve Carlton and Bob Gibson. He's the next in line. So he's got to be, right? Because that's
with these
apparently
prices.
based on the prices. So.
Apparently. Yeah, I don't know. I guess so. Christian Campbell's in there too. If that
Diamondback.
Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Sound like
my point exactly.
the basketball, the fine city of Miami.
Yeah.
Miami.
Minnesota.
whatever.
Minnesota, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know about the price point for Series 2 for a product that at least
300 for a jumbo box?
That's trending that way, yeah.
Woo.
Close, 279 right
too
now.
much. That's too
It's crazy too. All the online retailers are all the same price too. It's like it's insanity. I don't know how that works. They must have some phone combos.
No, they got their pulse. They understand.
They understand more than we do.
Yeah, they-
We're just
what's,
here talking about it while they're making money.
Yeah.
What's Chrome going to be then at this rate?
if you have
$1,000.
to ask, you can't afford it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, then you have Chrome Update too.
And Chrome Update, which might even be more.
Yeah.
Because you've got the debut patches. Yeesh.
Yeah.
Tough.
I mean, I'll tell you.
I'm gonna sell my house.
And it's
you know?
just, and we looked at it last week. Like
Live
it's
in a tent so I
it's
can
a
afford these
decent-
boxes.
Right, I know. We got yeah. It's a decent rookie class. I actually like a lot of the guys in this rookie class. It doesn't hold a candle to last year's rookie class. Last year was
2024
a
is good.
special class. Like I don't know, the prices are, unless you really like James Wood that much, but he's not a rookie in series.
He's not even.
two.
He's in Series 1.
Yeah, Series 1.
I mean, you have Luis Angel Acuna. I mean, based on his name, that might be the guy. Maybe that's maybe I forgot about him. Yeah, maybe that's why. Having him in there is at least $150 more per box.
He's
The
on
thing
best
is
team in
that
baseball.
it's gonna sell. People are gonna buy it, and
Yep.
the price will go up.
That's
And then the price will plateau, and it'll start slowly going down.
Or there just won't be any product, and it'll keep going up. Who knows?
So you're telling me buy Contenders. This is what this
Oh, I mean, I love Contenders, but Contenders is a
The dinosaur?
it's a dinosaur product. It's the older demographic collector.
It
product.
hits peak in 2000.
2000.
Tom Brady.
I think it had some nice years after
2012. Andrew Luck, RG3,
Maybe 2017.
Russell Wilson.
Mahomes, but it's peaked. It's a victim of the licensing, honestly, because you're not going to get the Jaden Daniels. I mean, there'll be Jaden Daniels cards in there. Don't get me wrong, but you're not going to get the Jaden Daniels autos. You're not going to get the Bo Nix. Bo Nix, by the way, Midnight Auto selling for like $200. That's it for a Bo Nix. Midnight Auto.
You know what Contenders does need to spice it up a little bit is that one. They need to put a parallel on there, an insert, like a downtown or like a Kaboom, and make something in their collectible besides just the autographs.
Did they do anything? Do we know if they've done anything? We could be speaking out of turn here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to look a little deeper into what they're offering Contenders. I mean, to me, just looking at the release schedule for the next 2 weeks, it's literally Contenders football this week. Contenders Optic is scheduled for the week after. That kind of tells me what the confidence level and how people are going to respond to the product. They're like, let's just get to Optic. Like, you want the shiny stuff, right? Let's just get to Optic.
But to be fair, too, we've got I think it's a great value proposition right
Yes.
now at around $300 a box for 5 autographs of NFL players. So
It
great
is,
value.
Yeah, it's still 5 autos of, you're right. And it's still J.J. McCarthy's in there if you believe in him. Michael Penix is in there if you believe in him. You've got a few more. Nothing.
probably
nothing's
Cooper
really,
DeJean probably in
Yeah.
there.
Nothing is really popping out that appears to be different with this year's release. You have these, the Crown Jewels, which appear to be some sort of stained glass. But I don't know if it's just a cool design or if it's actual it's stained glass, and I don't really know. There's not that many details on that right now. So, yeah, it's. I wanted to mention you said the Bo Nix at $200 for a midnight auto. So, did Topps just unload all of their football product? Try to get it all out of the way?
Yeah, I mean,
What's
think
going on there?
I think you're getting, which is probably a good thing in a sense is that, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, and Caleb are all exclusive to Topps, but Topps doesn't make 40 products like Panini does. So when the 10 come out, there's a lot more of the autographs of those guys.
But it did
so
seem
I
like
think they're kind of eating themselves in a sense.
Yeah, it did seem like though there was a stretch here where it was like that's a lot of Topps football out of just that they just kind of dropped on us in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess and that to me explains the market right there. So much.
Also, I mean, you could make a statement that maybe it is a good time to buy because there is so many of them out there, and if Bo Nix is lives up to his hype from last year and continues that path, they got better on defense. They made some moves, and Sean Payton's still there. So, Sean Payton is the head coach there.
He's still there.
Yeah. So I mean, they're probably contending. The Chiefs are probably due a fall off. The Raiders are still rebuilding. Chargers, who knows, with Mr. Harbaugh there.
What do you think,
So-
Cody? How do you think?
I don't know
How do
at
you
this
think?
point.
How do you think your Chargers are going to
How
do
are they
this
gonna
year?
do? They're going to make the playoffs and get out in the first round. That's what they're going to do.
So maybe Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, and Jaden Daniels autos are too cheap right now. Who knows?
That might be it. I don't know. Yeah.
But we'll leave you guys at that. Check out the new releases at Mojobreak.com. Check us out at Fanatics Fest. We'll have another show, obviously, before that, but we'll have more detail of what we're doing there as well. But check us out at Fanatics Fest, and thank you guys for listening week in and week out. For those that do comment that you guys do, and we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next week on The Hype. Peace.